I'm Laurie Thomas with the University of Kentucky Forestry and Natural Resource Extension, and I'm here with the tree of the week, the black walnut. Black walnut, Jugulans nigra, is one of the most prized and valuable of North American hardwoods. It's also called Eastern black walnut and American walnut. It's a medium to large tree that typically grows 70 to 90 feet tall and 2 to 3 feet in diameter, but can grow up to 150 feet tall and up to 8 feet in diameter on really good sites. In a forested setting, it develops a straight trunk with a narrow crown. It's a relatively fast-growing tree that reaches maturity by about 150 years, but can live up to 250 years. Black walnut is highly valued for its wood as well as its fruit, the walnut, which are enjoyed by wildlife and humans alike. Black walnut is found throughout the eastern United States, from Vermont to Minnesota, south to Florida and Texas, and it is a common tree in Kentucky. It thrives in deep, well-drained, neutral soils that are moist and fertile. It can be found in fields and forest habitats. Black walnut is a shade-intolerant species and must have direct sunlight to grow optimally. Black walnut can be confused with butternut or white walnut, also called white walnut, or the tree of heaven at a glance. Black walnut is a deciduous tree with alternately arranged leaves, as you can see in the photo. The leaves are compound, which means each leaf is comprised of numerous leaflets, and with black walnut the leaves are pinnately compound, which means the leaflets are arranged on each side of the leaf's central stalk or rachis. The leaves are large and they're usually about 12 to 24 inches long and made up of about 10 to 24 leaflets. The leaves are typically missing a terminal leaflet, or if it's there, it's poorly formed. The leaflets are serrated and the leaf stem or rachis is stout and pubescent or hairy. Fall color is not particularly showy and leaves drop quickly in the fall. Black walnut is monoecious, meaning a tree has both male and female flowers. The male flowers are single-stemmed, drooping catkins that are about 2.5 to 5.5 inches long. The female flowers are on short spikes near the end of the twig. The flowers develop in spring between April and early June, depending on latitude, and they emerge with the leaves. The flowers are wind-pollinated. The fruit is an edible nut that's enclosed in a thick, semi-flesh, round, green husk that's about 2 to 2.5 inches in diameter. Inside the husk is a furrowed, hard shell that contains a sweet edible nut or kernel. The fruits are borne singly or in groups. The fruit ripens between September and October. The husk typically softens and turns dark brown to black as it ripens, and the fruit drops after the leaves have fallen. Good seed crops are irregular, possibly twice in every 5 years, and large seed crops do not occur until trees are 20 to 30 years old. Black walnut is primarily regenerated from seeds that squirrels have buried and failed to recover. The seeds typically germinate the following spring. Black walnut is a valuable wildlife food due to the nutritious fruit. Walnuts are eaten by a variety of animals including squirrels, raccoons, bear, and turkeys. The leaves are not considered a great broad species for most wildlife, but they are somewhat palatable to white-tailed deer. The bark of black walnut is brown to dark brown to gray. It is divided by deep, narrow furrows into thin ridges that roughly form a diamond-shaped pattern, particularly on younger stems, as you can see in the photo. Thousand canker disease is a threat to black walnut. It's a disease complex that's native to the western United States, but it's spread east. The disease causes leaf yellowing and wilting, branch dieback, and general decline, and once a tree starts showing symptoms, it may die within 3 to 5 years. The disease is caused by the combined activity of a fungus, Geosmithia morbida, and the walnut twig beetle, a small beetle native to the southwest. The beetle carries the fungus and spreads it to the walnut as it burrows into the branches to feed and reproduce. The fungus then infects the tissue, destroying the vascular tissue and causing small black lesions called cankers to form at the beetle entry points. Eventually, these cankers merge together and they girdle the branch, which prevents the flow of vital nutrients throughout the tree. The walnut twig beetle has expanded both its geographical and host range over the past 2 decades, and coupled with the fungus, walnut mortality has occurred throughout the West, including California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado. In July 2010, thousand canker disease was first reported east of Knoxville, Tennessee, and in Richmond, Virginia in 2011. Black walnut wood is heavy, strong, and highly resistant to shock, as well as being rated resistant to decay. The sapwood is nearly white, while the heartwood is a light brown to dark chocolate brown, often with a purple cast or streak. It's normally straight-grained and easily worked with hand tools. When the wood is finished, it has a beautiful, smooth, velvety surface. Figure grain patterns such as curl and crotch and burl are prized for their beauty. The wood is used for lumber and veneer, and fine furniture, interior paneling, gun stocks, and specialty products are made from the wood. The nuts provide food for wildlife and humans and can be used in baked items, candy, or ice cream. Black walnuts are not as readily available as English walnuts, which is the tree the bulk of our food-grade walnuts come from. The ground shells provide special products including nutshell blaster, which was used to clean airplane pistons during World War II. The ground shells are used today to make products to clean jet engines. They're used as a filler in dynamite and as a filter agent for scrubbers and smokestacks. The national champion black walnut is in Westmoreland, Virginia, and it's 246 inches in circumference, 104 feet tall with a 56-foot crown spread. The Kentucky champion is in Greene County, and it's 205 inches in circumference, 118 feet tall with a 90-foot crown spread. If you'd like to know more about champion trees, check out American Forest Champion Tree Register or the Kentucky Division of Forestry Champion Trees. Now for a few fun facts about black walnut. Black walnut is a favorite host tree for mistletoe. Mistletoe is a plant parasite that lives in the tops of trees and takes water and nourishment from its host tree. Black walnut is known to exude from its roots and other plant parts an allelopathic chemical called juglone, which is highly toxic to other plants. In essence, it excludes other plants from growing underneath it. Native Americans used the nuts for food and extracted a black dye from the roots. The black walnut is mentioned in many Native American creation myths. Black walnut's scientific name juglans is from the Latin Jovis and glans, which means Jupiter nut, and nigra is Latin for black, referring to the bark. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the black walnut and get opportunity to get out into your woodland, a local park, or your neighborhood and enjoy the beauty and the bounty of the black walnut.